You're listening to the Good Question Podcast with Richard Jacobs. Our goal is to make each of our guests exclaim, that's a good question. I don't know the answer. Because when that happens, it means you, the listener, may be inspired to learn more beyond the interview and to ask great questions yourself that lead to new insights. In this podcast, we cover historical and current anthropology, comparative religion, and history. Welcome, and let's get started.
Hello, this is Richard Jacobs with the Good Question Podcast. My guest is Rhonda Rivers. She's the owner and operator of RJR Paralegal and Administrative Services, LLC. So we're going to talk about her work in the paralegal world, what that entails, etc. So welcome, Rhonda.
Hi. Thank you, Richard, very much for having me.
Yeah, tell me a bit about what you do. I know that some paralegal services are, document preparation. Some are working with law firms, like as the back office. Some place paralegals. What is it that y'all do?
So with RJR, we are a team of paralegals, senior paralegals that have worked in a plethora of industries. But of late, we have come together and we provide freelance paralegal services, whether that be case management, whether that be administrative services. Again, the gamut just doesn't stop. We have some paralegals that are now placed with law firms. We also provide paralegal training. So that's another one of our areas.
Oh, training to what? To people that are paralegals?
Right. To learn paralegal study.
Okay. Well, how long is the coursework for that, and what does it cost?
It's 12 weeks, and it's been done on a grant basis, so that it fluctuates with regards to the cost. It's kind of a sliding scale situation.
Oh, what like ballpark? What is it? Is it like by practice area, or how is it right?
It's just the training. It's just what basic paralegal studies training, and it covers contract, tort, legal research and writing. And again, the pay is the cost for the program is a sliding scale because it has been done on a grant. Of late, the grant has been stopped, so we'll see how it goes moving forward.
Oh, did the state of Texas give you a grant to offset costs or to do the service for people?
Well, not the state of Texas. It was another nonprofit community-based organization.
Oh, okay.
So it's a social program.
So it was like being subsidized, but now the subsidy's gone.
Right. There you go.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know.
What if someone has to go out and do the training? What does it normally run out there? What have you seen?
Well, no, it's typically the referrals are sent over to us by the organization. Does that make sense? And so they come to us, or we have virtual sessions, and they're taught basic paralegal studies. And again, just how to file, how to e-file, what is a proper business acumen in a law firm, those type of things.
What about for different practice areas? Is there any specialization in a practice area, or how do paralegals learn, how to do family law versus, auto accidents, whatever it may be?
Well, we do a lot of volunteering with, again, community-based organizations. And so typically we're partnered with a law firm or an attorney, a solo practitioner. And it could run from real estate law to bankruptcy, like I just did, the bankruptcy, family law. It depends on what opportunity we're in at that moment, what project we're working on at that moment. And so if we are working with a legal organization, a community-based organization, and they have a attorney that they're working with, we're usually supporting that attorney, if that makes sense.
Oh, so you'll do free work for the attorney in exchange for learning the practice area?
Right. We volunteer. That's how we like to term it. We volunteer.
Okay. All right. But that's not the main part of your business. Is the main part serving customers directly, or what is it?
Well, we can't service customers from we can't offer any legal advice because we're not attorneys, right? And we make sure we give that disclaimer to everyone we speak to. And I'm going to give that disclaimer right now. I am not an attorney. I'm a paralegal, a proud paralegal. But we can't, represent clients or anything like that. What we do is provide administrative supports to clients. So if someone is a pro se litigant and they need to type a document, we will assist them with typing the document. It has, it has to be directly from them. We can't, quote any law or anything like that. We also provide notary services. So if they need notary, we can do legal research for them. And that's a big part of our area. That's a big, administrative support to our client.
I mean, let's say someone wants to file divorce. Could that be a client? Again, they're not going to get legal advice from you, but let's say the local courts want things submitted in a certain way. Do you help them like format the documents, or do you help them do legal research into what they need to file, or what?
Well, if they are in family law and if they are doing a uncontested divorce, there is typically forms that are within the jurisdiction, whatever municipality they're filing in. They typically have the forms online that they can access. And so we would direct them to that. And then if they need any assistance with e-filing, or if we would assist with that, or notarizing, as I said.
Oh, okay. Because I know there's like some document prep services that seem to go a little further, but I don't know if they're skirting the line of legality or not by preparing some of the documents for people.
Right. You have to be very careful because the line can get blurred very easily. And so we walk a very fine line.
Okay. So what practice areas do you support people in most typically?
Well, we've typically done a lot of civil work. I have something right now where someone just called us, and she's a realtor, and someone doesn't want to give escrow money, and she's asking, what do we do? And our direction was, number one, to contact a real estate attorney. And so in those cases, again, it just depends. We are an open shop, so a lot of issues come into our doors that we often have to either turn away or refer to an outside organization that can handle whatever the service they're requesting.
Do you have preferred attorneys that you can refer to, or is that allowed or no?
Well, again, if we've worked with an attorney before on a situation, then yes, we will. I don't think that's an issue. I don't think we're blurring any lines there. We don't get paid or anything for any referrals, so nothing like that.
Oh, you're not the fee split or anything like that?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. What kind of, areas of law are most common that people come to you for help in?
And it's been, like I said, it's typically immigration situations where they're needing notarization and that type of cases. Or, as I said, if they're needing some type of e-filing, we can assist with that.
What about like real estate closings or mobile notary type things?
We can assist with that. Absolutely. We also do virtual notary, which is called a run. We can do that. And we do that quite often.
What about if someone's going through like mediation? They want someone to take notes and transcribe and, I don't know, somehow support them. Do you guys ever get called into situations like that? Or an attorney needs you to come to a deposition or something? Or
Absolutely. We've set in on examination, depositions, and we have taken notes. We have mediators that are on our team that actually mediate in the local small claims courts, in the eviction courts in our county. And so, yes, to answer your question.
Okay. So, what is the bulk of the work that you guys do on a daily or weekly basis? What does it look like?
Well, we assist with our senior community. We provide will support, wills and transfer on death deeds. We do that regularly. And again, just administrative support. If someone is coming in and they're needing, help with typing something, we'll help them type it. If they need help with getting themselves set up with a profile on an application, we can assist with that. We provide 360 customer support.
What about interacting with the courts? Again, like you said, pro se, people representing themselves. What trips them up when they deal with the court systems locally that you help with?
Well, we help with the e-filing process, if that is allowed. We just found out today again, as I said, I just left the court, that a pro se litigant could not e-file unless they had been approved by the court. Well, we didn't know that. We found that out today our own self. So we learned together. That was a learning curve, but we managed it, and we made sure that the document was filed for the client. So it's so many things. There's so many things that you can bump it, you can run up against. This morning when we woke up, we thought that was going to be an easy situation where the client sent us over their document. We e-filed it into the e-filing system, but that wasn't the case. We had to get engaged, as a good paralegal should, and get down to the court and made sure that it was filed before the deadline. Deadlines are essential in this business.
Oh, what do you mean? Like what?
Yeah, if I couldn't have said, we can't e-file it. We can just wait until tomorrow, because if I did, that client would not have been a happy camper and his situation could have been compromised. So deadlines are paramount.
Okay. What about helping people as their case goes through the court system? To look up any changes in their case, or deadlines or things they have to do.
Absolutely, we do that. We can do that. And if we've worked with someone with filing their documents, we will typically, keep a eye out on their matters, right? To let them know that, hey, you may have this upcoming, or did you remember, just to remind you, just as a courtesy, not for anything else, because we believe in developing very good relationships. And that is how we get the buck of our business, by word of mouth. We provide what we hope a stellar service in, maybe a challenging time of someone's life, and they let someone else know.
Okay. So do you have any paralegals that are assigned to attorney offices that work for them, either part-time or full-time, or have you done that? Or is that not, you just deal with the public more often?
No. We work with attorneys. We're supervised by an attorney, and we work with attorneys throughout the U.S. It started during COVID when everybody had to go home. We were called on by a few attorneys to start supporting them virtually. And so we do that. I started my career as a paralegal in a law firm, a family law firm, and stayed there for a number of years. And then from there, moved on to a real estate attorney. And then from there, moved to a corporate attorney. And this business just kind of keeps you moving and going and learning.
Sure. What was it like working with the different attorneys? Like, what made a good attorney for you to work with versus one that you didn't enjoy working with?
Their ethic and their excellence to service to their clients.
What does that mean?
That means the first law firm that I worked for, she's now a judge. She's an owner of Orange Fitness. And so that just speaks to her capacity, who she is as an individual. And her mantra was excellent. There's nothing, you have to provide excellence in all that you do. And so I learned so much from her. She's today a mentor to me. And then I've met some attorneys that were not so much. They were not committed to their clients and the cause of why their clients were there. And I could just see that. And as a paralegal, you kind of take that. When the attorney drops that ball, the paralegal, in my opinion, should kind of step in and buffer that type of situation. Example, my attorney's not calling me.
Oh, yeah.
Right? My attorney's not calling me. My attorney came to court and they didn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I've experienced those type attorneys. And so that's what makes the difference. The excellence of an individual and their character and their ethic and the golden rule. I tell people the golden rule. And what is the golden rule? Treat others like you would have them treat you. In a law practice, and the person that's serving you in your restaurant, at the drive-through, at Starbucks, just treat people like you would want to be treated.
Well, what else are some of the things that attorneys do that cause the paralegals or the staff to have problems? What else have you seen?
Pass the buck, of course. Grandstand, of course. But I get it, right? I get it. It's a lot to be applauded, and it's very motivating. They're motivating, but sometimes, you can find them to grandstand a lot and pass the buck. It was my paralegal's fault. And you're like, no, it wasn't.
Oh, really? Huh.
No, it wasn't my fault. But again, that's what you're there for in some cases, to be that buffer. And you have to be very resilient, very thick-skinned, and just keep it moving.
Wow, I didn't realize. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, it's okay.
How can from your side of the table, how can attorneys work well with a paralegal versus not? What do they have them do that is really not supposed to be done by a paralegal, let's say?
I haven't experienced anything. My attorneys that I've supported the plaintiff and the defendant side, just to share. I have had one attorney, he taught me a lot. And during the time, this was several years ago, but during the time I was a young paralegal, and he was co-counsel on a matter, and his co-counsel called in and said, hey, Rhonda, could you send over, whatever document it was? And I said, oh, yeah, I was really, very, that was co-counsel, so I'm okay with it. So I sent it over, and the attorney comes to my office. He's standing my door, like beet red. And he goes, my work product to such and such. And I said, yes, sir. That's co-counsel. He turned beeter red. That's a word. And he said, don't you ever share my work product with any. And I thought, oh my goodness. So that was a moment. It triggered me for years. And I had him. I was just very disturbed by him.
Yeah, how could you know that? That's terrible.
Well, no, I should have known. A good paralegal would have known because she would have asked her supervising attorney or her manager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So effective communication is essential in this business. Effective communication. And so that's what I think, and that isn't a way that I think attorneys and paralegals can work hand in hand, lock in step with one another, if they're effectively communicating with one another. And I believe there has to be some type of connection, right? Like, again, in my head, a good paralegal kind of thinks out of the box and they know what their managing attorney is thinking. They know what they know what the next step should be. I know that it's intuitive, but I believe it's there. For me, it is, right? With my attorneys, I can, I'll call them and they'll say, hey, Rhonda, da 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 da. And I'll say, yeah, that's right. Or I would have sent them something and they say, oh, I was just thinking about this. Or, oh, I'll give them a response from a client and they'll say, hey, I was just, about to reach out to them. Thank you for doing that. So again, effective communication is essential. It's essential.
What does the onboarding process look like, or what should it look like when a paralegal first starts working with an attorney?
Well, for me, it's been, and I come from a corporate background. And so for me, it would be the basic HR. If you're 1099, then of course you'd fill out that document. If you are an employee, it would be a W-2. Any practice areas, policies and procedures, the firm's policies and procedures. And then typically it's on to whatever the role is that I would be working in. If it would be case management, if it be intake, if it be investigation, if it be a part of the drafting team, that type of situation.
Yeah, but how have you seen the attorneys, when they first get a paralegal, they're not really trainers. Do you ever give advice where, let's say a paralegal works for you and they're going to start working with a firm, do you help the firms to onboard the person? Like, here's what you want to do in terms of training, or here's what you want to show them, so that it's smooth to onboard them. I don't know how long it takes or how much effort, but I would guess there's a ton to know, and how do you do it effectively?
Well, we are typically project-based, so we're coming in project. So if it's a discovery project, we're working on discovery. So it's pretty clear of what we're going to be working on, and it's just the subject or the case that we're working on, if that makes sense. So all of the paralegals that work with us are familiar with the basic processes. If a firm has their own specific, again, we would just go through their HR practices, and we're typically given their policies and procedures manuals as to how their firm does business.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. So project-based, there'll be a case about whatever it is, and they're going to bring you in for X number of hours, I guess, to draft documents and assemble evidence and do all that stuff.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So I guess the paralegals are there to get all the information about a case and just put it into a dossier that they can plop down in front of the attorney, and then the attorney's like, all right, great. I have all my info here. Now I can come up with the legal strategies.
Or they're providing us, they're giving us direction as to what needs to happen, what, the attorney is letting his staff know, and his staff is trickling that down to the paralegal to let her know that that's working with us, what needs to happen. So we're just giving back the work, our work product, and it's their work product that we're working on.
Gotcha. What's the difference between a legal secretary, a paralegal, an admin, a legal assistant?
The names are interchangeable. They really are. It's typically the same functions, and it boils down to the education, in my opinion. But the names are interchangeable.
Oh, okay. But the paralegal is the one that has the formal name designation, essentially, right?
Right, because of the education.
Okay. So to be a legal secretary or any of these other designations, not a paralegal, is there any formal training, or is it more on the job type stuff?
I believe it's more experience and on the job.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, very good. What areas do you serve? You're in Houston, but how you deal with people across the United States? Like, where are your limits?
We do. We have attorneys that we support out in DC, Maryland, Georgia, Florida, New Mexico, Nevada, California.
Wow. Is it just you guys are very well known? Is that why so many different places refer to you, or is that usual?
Yeah, as I said, we are during COVID. That's when we really pulled on, and so word of mouth. We try to provide a stellar service to those firms and solo practitioners that we work with, and they tell their colleagues, "There's this great group of paralegals that you could work with, and they're going to get the job done." That's our JR.
Okay, no, excellent. Well, last question: what have you seen? How have law firms changed since COVID? Have they gone back to the way they did things before COVID, or like what's the new normal? I guess I hate that term, but how our law firms structured differently that you see them today?
Well, I'm of the generation where law firms were very formal and structured and very organized. Now I see it's very loose. Again, we are a virtual world, so there's a lot that's happening virtually with the DocuSigns, with the electronic signatures, with the runs as notaries. There's so much changing and evolving, and good. It's a good thing, right? Change is amazing. But some days I wish we could go back to those good old days. There are some firms out there that are still traditional, and so I applaud those. Yeah, that's what I see. We're getting a little looser and more technologically centric.
What do you think is bad about the looseness? Like, does it worse outcomes for people in the court sometimes, or like what is it doing to people?
I think the looseness just makes us the empathy part of it. We don't realize the empathy, right? If something, like I just said, something falls through the cracks, a filing didn't get filed in a timely manner. It's more like, okay, well, not a case of rah-rah, but yeah, a case of rah-rah. Thank God that there are remedies out there if anything should happen, timeline based, right? There are remedies. But I just see that a lot. I see that a lot happen.
Okay. Well, very good. So, all right, what's the website and how can, firms contact you that are listening?
Certainly. We are RJR Paralegal, and we're here in Houston, Texas. Our phone number is 281-721-2155. I'm trying to get you the website so that Cheryl don't know it by memory, isn't it? But we are at Rhonda Rivers or www.rjrparalegal.com. That's us.
Okay. rjrparalegal.com. Got it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
If you like this podcast, please click the link in the description to subscribe and review us on iTunes.
Thank you for listening to the Good Question Podcast. Please email support@thegoodquestionpodcast.com if you have any referrals to great guests for us to interview. Visit thegoodquestionpodcast.com to hear more interviews. And please help us spread the word by rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to this podcast.